Hello and welcome back, Charlotte here for The Little Paper Tree, and today I'm sharing a video featuring embossing with stencils, and I'm using the Marching Leaves stencil from Catherine Paula for this. I have my multi-purpose platform open to the embossing setting, and my sandwich is I have a paper shim, which is actually an envelope, then I have a cutting mat and an embossing mat, the panel of paper and stencil, and then another cutting mat on top, and I will run that through backwards and forwards, and that will nicely emboss my panel with that stencil design. I decided I didn't want it as stark white as it was, so I'm going to ink blend over it, and I'm using the same envelope I'd used as a shim just as my base for when I'm doing this, just so I don't get my grip mat dirty because I was too lazy to get my craft mat out. And I'm just very lightly rubbing over this with a makeup sponge and some Altenew frayed leaf ink, which is a pale green ink. It's not as smooth a coverage of ink as I would have liked. A distress ink or distress oxide would probably have worked better, but I do not have a very pale green and I wanted very pale green, so I went with the Altenew ink instead. Once I was happy with that, I set it aside and I'm working on the sentiment portion of my card, for which I'm first stamping out a banner, and then I'm going to add the shaped sentiment into the banner. The sentiment and the banner itself are both from the Altenew Wood Palette background stamp set. I stamped the banner with that same frayed leaf ink, and for the sentiment I went slightly darker with Forest Glades, and then I fussy cut out the banner. Next I'm adding a few stamped leaves to my card base. I did 4 of these. These are from the Sakura Blossoms stamp set, which is also an Altenew stamp set. I had meant to do them all in my lightest green, but I picked up the wrong ink pad on my second leaf. So instead I have one of the lighter green and one of the darker green at the top, and the same on the bottom, but I flipped them around. So it's light on the top left and bottom right, and then dark on the top right and bottom left. I then put foam tape all over the back of my embossed panel, to which I'd already adhered my sentiment banner. And I'll carefully line that up on the card base so those stamped leaves are just sticking out at the top and bottom, and I'll make sure it is straight before I properly press it into place. And then to finish off my card, which I hadn't originally intended it to be a monochromatic card, my last card I made for The Little Paper Tree was also monochromatic. To finish off the card I'm adding some Nuvo Drops, and for these I am using bottle green, which I thought went very well with the other greens I had used. And I'm making a visual triangle of these Nuvo Drops and working in odd numbers, so I have 3 little clusters of those Nuvo Drops. And that completes my card. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, you can press the thumbs up button below to let me know that you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, the thumbs down button is right next to that. I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you have any questions about this technique. Have you tried embossing with stencils yourself? And if not, has this video made you want to give it a try? If it does, we would love to see what you make. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel or the Little Paper Tree channel, there are buttons on screen which you can press to do that, and there's also another video on screen if you'd like to see more from us right away. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye!